Hello everyone. Today I am interviewing my dad to talk about his legacy, where he's been, everything he's gone through, and what he would like to leave for his future generation beyond. So we're just going to have a conversation, ask a few questions, just to be able to document history of our family and just to find out some fun things about this guy who was born in the late 40s.
Don't go there.
1948 to be specific. So Dad, let's start there. You were born in October of 1948. The day you were born, you probably don't remember it because that's been centuries ago. So how about this? Tell us who your parents are, both sides, and then let's see if you can name all your siblings on both sides.
I was born to Lavinia Marie Mudd and Harry Hewitt Mudd. October 30, October 31st, 1948. I'm saying that because I do have two birth certificates. One that says October 31st and one that says October 30th. With Lavinia, we call her sis. I had Jerry as a brother, Ronnie as a brother, both of them have passed by now, Joanne, Kim, Chi-Chi, who I found out after 12 years, her name was Tressana. Kim, Joanne, Chi-Chi, and Renee. Those were my sisters by my mother, Lavinia. My father was Jerry's father, and that's why we have Jerry Mudd and Ronald and Hewitt Mudd. Me and Jerry were by Harris. Now we also had occasion because I was at work in Thurmont and I came home on the 31st of October and found out that Harry died that morning on my birthday.
Wow.
Which kind of threw me totally off. But what I also found out was Weston Farrell and Miss Farrell were also a part of the family who claimed that I was their son. And I had no reason to argue because the family was so intertwined that who could argue? But it just had four sisters, June, Joan, Louise, and there I am. And they all hung out with Mr. Farrell and Miss Farrell. They all hung out together. We used to sleep at everybody's house. I mean, you might have a bedroom with 12 people in it. I mean, you would have box springs and a mattress and everybody would be there. So we all grew up together. So as far as I was concerned, and as far as I'm concerned now, I had two families. One that I was born to and one that helped raise me. And never had no issue whatsoever with any other questions about it because I have no steps, no halves, I have sisters, I have brothers, and I have mothers and fathers, and that's it. Any other questions, dear daughter?
So on the Farrell side, name all of your siblings.
We have Deborah, who I don't think you met because she passed before you.
That's true.
And those would be Jennifer and Karen and Charmaine and Minky. And we also had Earl Farrell. Okay. These would be that side. And what I didn't say was because after Harry died, that Bill, which was Mr. Rivers, was also part of the family. That's where you have Charlene, another sister that I claim to be part of the family. So you had additional, we got family everywhere, that's all I
Everywhere.
gotta tell you, you know. And they all cooperate. I mean, they all come together as family. You have no division in it, it's just family. Simple as that.
All one. So we're gonna fast forward to your school days. Do you remember your elementary school? We know your high school, but you can
Cook
tell us.
Elementary School, Northwest, 3rd Street, Northwest.
Oh, wow.
After Cook Elementary School, it was Bundy Junior High School, which was an all-boys school in Northwest. And I was making straight A's because it was all-boys school. Then
No
they
distractions.
Then they sent me to Shore Junior High School where they had girls. And the grades went down. Now, because of Harry's death, I moved with my aunt, Miss Marguerite Anderson, who lives in Northeast on Rhode Island Avenue. And they told me because of the address, I had to go to the junior high school there, which would have been Taft Junior High School. But Taft didn't have a junior high school that year. Taft Junior High School was at McKinley. So I went to McKinley for the 9th and 10th grade. And then they came up with the idea, we don't care where you live, you're going to go to the school where your mother lives closest to, regardless of where you live. And that was Dunbar. So the problem started because I lived with my aunt in McKinley zone where I had to go to Dunbar. And Dunbar and McKinley did not get along. So we fought almost every day.
Oh my God.
Yes, coming home, riding the bus because you had to go from McKinley zone to Dunbar, and from Dunbar zone to McKinley. So yeah, we had a good time fighting. Yes, we did.
And then you graduated from dun 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 dun.
Yes. Graduated from Dunbar in 1966. And I had a scholarship, partial scholarship to go to Howard. So I went to Howard. And at that time, the assumption was if you go to college and you make good grades, you won't get drafted. I found out to be a lie. First year I was at Howard, from 66 to 67, I was on the Dean's Honor Roll. I got a letter saying I was getting drafted.
Wow.
So, because I was getting drafted, I volunteered because I didn't want to just go any place. I wanted to go where I wanted to go.
Makes sense.
So I volunteered to go, but it was delayed. So I didn't have to go right away. So I did go in 67. I actually joined the Army in 67. And that's where they sent me in 67.
Wow. So that's what started your military career in 67. And then from 67, 68, you went where in 68?
Well, 67, I was in basic training. After I left basic training, they sent me to Fort Devens, Massachusetts for radio communications training, which was radio intercept. I left Fort Devens, Massachusetts to go to Shimmy, Alaska, which was there supposed to be for cold weather training. They said mountain climbing training, or whatever the case may be. I left there to come down to Fort Benning, Georgia for airborne training. And we left Fort Benning, Georgia to go to Fort Huachuca, Arizona for our desert survival training.
Wow.
And then we went to Paris Island for a bit for jungle survival training.
Oh, wow.
And then it was off to Vietnam.
All to Vietnam at such a young age.
Yeah, I was 19 in Vietnam. So they had a record out. I was 19 in Vietnam. Didn't have a clue about nothing. The funny part was I never had experienced white people until I joined the military.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because being born in D.C., we were around black. We had one white boy in my senior class.
Mm.
And if a fight would break out on the field, we would all run up in the stands and gather around our, you ain't hurt our white boy. When you got one, you ain't hurt our white boy. So it was an experience because I heard about the prejudice and the racism. I heard about these type of things, and I really was not equipped to just take a back seat like some of the people from the South who grew up in that. Because if you came out your mouth with boy, it's going to be a fight, you know, that kind of stuff. And nigga was never even thought of. You just didn't say it, but that's the kind of way we grew up. It just, when we got over there, it's a whole different environment. We learned to get along together, or some of us didn't come back.
So what wars were you a part of? So we know Vietnam, right out the gate.
Well, Vietnam was different because I was in Vietnam and they had Tet of Vietnam, which is one of the main issues where the Vietnamese were celebrating their Tet, which is their New Year. And they had a concentrated effect where they would actually attack bases all over at the same time. So you were in a situation where you had no support because where your support was coming from was also being attacked. And you had situations where you had more of them than you had bullets. So, you know, we were writing home, telling what to do with my car, what to do with my scooter, telling everybody all these types of things. But that was only 1 year. After that year was up, I came home. They had me stationed in California for 6 weeks. Jared, my brother, had got his notice, he was being drafted. I told him to go through the process where he would go through all the stations and it would send him out to California. I volunteered to go back to Vietnam. When I got back to Vietnam, I wrote Jared and told him, when you get to California, you tell them you cannot come because you already have a brother in a combat situation.
Wow, you
At that time, it was like, you can't have 2 people in the family, so he didn't get to go to combat.
Wow, you looked out for your brother.
But see, to me, it was like, I still knew the people over there. I still knew what was happening. I'd rather have a better chance than him coming over there fresh, because he would be a big unit doing something stupid, you know. They were stupid, so. It wasn't, to me, it looked like it was a whole lot, for me at that time, it made more sense for me to do it than not to do it, so. It was good.
So Vietnam, then I remember Saudi Arabia, Desert Storm, right?
Yes, after I left Vietnam, I got out of the military.
Right.
They couldn't tell me, this, you know, whatever. I said, no. I just came, and the funny part was, when I came home, I remember it was June 29th. I had 3 cab loads of family going to take me. We were going down to Chinatown to have dinner. 3rd, June 29th. I get out the cab downtown, they're shooting fireworks off.
Oh, you stopped dropping road?
I'm digging through concrete. You know, I got back in the cab and came home. I couldn't deal with it. You know, I really could not. You know, so I'm not ready for this. They didn't understand. They were laughing like it was a joke, but you know. And then went back home. And I remember going, because to make up for it, they was going to give me a surprise party because I stayed at the Rhode Island Plaza. And my aunt told me to take this book down to this lady, just return the book. I'm taking the book down there, walking down the hallway, and then she jumped out talking about happy. I think that's all she got out.
Don't jump out at me.
And, you know, I saw her on the floor. You know, I felt bad about it for a while, but you know, I was mad because I keep don't do this. You know, I'm just. But you know, so it was an acceptance thing. So you had a lot of people who didn't approve of Vietnam. Then you had a lot of veterans who were upset because they said we've never lost a war. Y'all over here doing this and doing that. You know, it was a mixed time. It was just a crazy time. But I did get out. The only thing I got from Vietnam, I actually ordered a car when I was over there.
Oh my God! What kind of car was it? Let us know.
Chevelle Super Sport.
What color?
Brown?
Brown.
Not with yellow stripes.
Oh wow.
And see, you could order the car through the PX.
Mhm.
And you could order it the way you want, the size engine you want, the size interior you want, the wheels. We had a choice at that time to either bucket seats or you could get air conditioning.
Wow.
And I'm like, excuse me, I've been in Vietnam, you think I don't care about no bucket seats? You know, this kind of thing. And they shipped the car to a dealer that was on Bladensburg Road. And when I found out that it was there, I went and got my car.
And you got your sisters. You would bring your sister's stuff back, right?
Because over there you can get stuff made. I got a leather coat. Went to one of those little vendors, Vietnamese. Asked them about making me. If you had a picture of something, they could make it.
Wow.
So we would take a Jet or a GQ, show them the picture, and they would make it. They made me a full-length leather coat with fur around the collar.
Oh my goodness.
Fur around the wrist. You understand the time it was super flat at the time. Okay, we had all this. Okay. It was $40.
Wow.
It was made that day.
Wow.
And they were like, it's too much? $40 too much? Yeah. But that's how they did it. Then I found out. So I wrote home and told everybody give me the sizes and what they would like. Send me pictures of what they like. So I got all my sisters. I spent $230 for all 10 of them.
Wow.
It was like 2-3 dresses each, and some of them I think, some of them, Jennifer got a coat and Karen got a coat. Everybody's got dresses. Yeah. and to get it, to have it shipped home and everything else, you know, just the whole thing.
Wow.
That was it. It was under $300.
Wow.
But what I didn't know was, I didn't know nothing about teak wood, which was so cheap over there. I didn't know nothing about the jewelry, like the Black Star Sapphire. I didn't know nothing about all that stuff. I was upset when I got home to find out how valuable that stuff was. Like, but after Vietnam, I left. I stayed out until my lovely sister, Miss Jennifer, wanted to go into the reserves. But they had a program where you go in as a buddy, because I was already a veteran, so I could go in with them. So we went to the reserves.
You and your sister.
And we was up in New Orleans. We stayed there for 2 years, and we left the reserves to come to D.C. National Guard. And so she went to a transportation unit, I went to a communication unit. And I spent almost 20 some years in the National Guard, and she was there too.
Oh, okay.
So that was how I got into the National Guard. And I did more traveling in the National Guard than I did in the service, period.
Wow. What's some places you remember in the National Guard?
Oh, Germany. We did go to Saudi. Went to Belize. Went to about 80 states. It's not a problem. Went to Cuba too. Went to Guantanamo Bay. Went to on the East Coast, because we got about 30 within 70 miles of DC. Is about 70 bases. So from New York all the way down to West Virginia, we've gone to all these places. Tennessee, Georgia, San Antonio, Texas, for classes. Yeah, we just.
Wow. So we're going to move up the timeline to the 70s. All right, so now we're going to come up the time into the 70s. More specifically, May 22nd, 1976.
Which is the bicentennial, that's what I remember. 1776. If don't nobody else remember nothing else, 1776.
We're not talking about 1776.
It's the bicentennial.
Skip that. We're going to fast forward 200 years to 1976, May 22nd.
Lord have mercy.
Wow, what a day.
Yeah, it was a day. We had a special lady who was going through all these changes. Some of them she had to go. And she had to go now. And see, I had a father, dad was like, you gonna be there. I said, and do what? And do what? All that stuff you see on television where the people be sitting there looking at, Dad. You know, I went to Vietnam and everything, but I can't deal with this one. You know?
Yep. So interesting enough, my mom lived at 1208 Eaton Road, and
1206.
that's where my grandparents lived.
Mm-hmm. And the funny part,
Interesting.
yes. Terry was born on that day, and I think 2 days later, it was a house full of clothes and everything else for a brand new little girl. All of my sisters made sure Terry had everything in the world. They came through with stuff that I never even heard of before. But my father lovingly just came and told me, come on, we're going down here, because he sold stuff off the truck. We're going to hit the wholesale store. So you got your paycheck. Here's what you need. But Dad, they got this. Listen, Father. This is what you want to get. So we got the Similac and the Pampers and everything else in the world. I mean, I came out there with a shopping cart, you know. But Dad said, this is your responsibility. Whatever they do, but this is your responsibility. I had no problem with that, but I didn't know it entailed all of that. I really did not know. But it was no issue. It was like it was already covered. Renee didn't have to do nothing but sit up there and look, because everything came right to her. I mean, I think they were sitting on her doorstep morning, noon, and night. You know? Seriously. So whatever she needed, if she needed anything 2 o'clock in the morning, somebody would have been there with it. So that's what happened. And look at her now. That's all I gotta say.
So yes, my parents were neighbors
Yeah.
in the neighborhood of Berry Farms. So after I was born, we'll speed up the timeline some here, and we can incorporate just some fun things that you've enjoyed about your life. Your work career has always been in the telecommunications field, with working at the Pentagon, State Department, and thankfully I have a bank account with every credit union that's affiliated with the military because of my dad. So, you know, just your work career, telecommunications, you had a little college, you know, it's always important for generations to come to really value education. And going through some of your certificates, education seemed like it was a big part. And I think probably at some point in your life you felt, I gotta have a good education, I gotta make good grades. What would you share with all of your many grandchildren just about education and schooling and joining the military and the positives of that?
Well, let's go back to my daughter, who had Miss Brianna. And I remember her coming to me, Dad, I need more benefits because we don't have a lot of stuff going on. And the only thing I said, Terry, the only way you're going to get more benefits is to get more education. And so Terry started going to night school. I remember Strad College at the time, that wasn't Strad University.
Yep.
I remember her struggling, but she was going to college.
Yep.
And then she graduated. Terry is making 6 figures now. Terry put Brianna through college. These things is the standing example for all of my daughters and their friends, is tell them point blank, you know. Terry was born in Berry Farms, the projects in Southeast. It's not where you come from, it's what you do after, if you like, after that. Mom lived in the house. They used to have people coming from the headquarters to come down there to show people how you can live in a house in Berry Farms. Because it's not what look outside, it's what you do with it. So I'm not building Terry up as my daughter, I'm military up as a lady who has accomplished stuff because of what she has done, but also as an example and inspiration to others to look. Education. If you want to succeed, that's going to be your basis. That's across the board. I don't care what it is. I'm going to get a job. I just got this job. I tell people with the military, I have no problem with you joining the military. As long as you get something that you can use once you get out. Oh, I'm going to be a tank driver. I'm going to be a paratrooper. And when you get out, you're going to do what? Okay? You have all these opportunities for you. Understand something. I can graduate from college, go apply for a job. What kind of experience you got? I just graduated from college. I don't have no experience. Military, you get the training, which is equivalent to college. You have hands-on because you've been doing it. You probably have a security clearance. So all these things, they will be at your door ready to hire you when you get out of the military. So I don't knock the military. Talk to people to find out what's your best avenue for your aptitudes. Simple as that. I don't care who you are. This is your best, because the way it costs now to go to college, military, you don't have to go. You can go National Guard 1 week in a month. They're actually paying you to be there. And then they pay you to go to college. So the avenues are there for you. It's you know, you got so much wisdom in this family that, and the family is so big, if you need anything, let it be known that there's a need. Somebody knows somebody knows something who's already experienced it, whatever the case may be. Just let it be known. I love this family.
So Denver, but so you did do Desert Storm. Did you go to Saudi Arabia just once or twice?
We were in Saudi Arabia. Well, see, we were there for Desert Shield, which was what they called it before the war actually broke out.
Oh, okay.
And then when it broke out, they changed it to Desert Storm.
Oh, okay.
And my unit was there for both. We were also over there because I had my nephew, Kevin.
Kevin!
Was also in my unit. And I was communication. Kevin was medical. And because he was medical, they sent him to support the 101st Airborne, which was another unit. And Jennifer was writing me, where's my son? He's over here someplace. I mean, that's the best I can tell you, you know. But I did have my nephew with me the whole time until they separated us. But he was over there. My unit was with him all the time. So we did spend some time over there in Saudi Arabia. We did venture to some places we weren't supposed to, like Afghanistan at that time, you know, 'cause we weren't supposed to go. Just like we was in Vietnam. We weren't supposed to be in Thailand and Laos, but we did venture into some of these areas where we weren't supposed to be. But yeah, okay, you know, that's what they say.
What happened there stays there.
Yeah, someone's still there. Oh, I do have one thing, Miss Terry. I got married when I was in Vietnam.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
To whom?
I don't know nothing.
Oh, jeez.
Mia, M-I-A, T-H-A-I, Thai, Kim, Sai, S-I-E-G-H.
Okay. Did you have any children with Miss?
No, wait, let me explain before you get carried away.
Explain. Okay.
We had Benoit Village, we had Benoit Army Base, right next to each other. So a lot of the people from Benoit Village worked on Benoit Army Base. Okay. They had I can't say a raid or whatever, but we had this explosion and some of the workers got killed.
Wow.
One of the girls that worked there, mother and father worked there, all of them worked there. Two of them worked in the mess hall. Somebody set a bomb in the mess hall and killed her mother and father. And some other people got killed, but we knew her because she helped clean our area, so we just knew some of the people. I had a friend who was actually from Baltimore, We went down and talked to the MPs at the gate because we go out on missions, so we're not there all the time. Her way of getting on base was through her parents. Since her parents weren't there, she had no way of getting on base. So we had went and talked to them about it, just since we were going out. And he would give her some money, I would give her some money. They asked me, do you give her any money? I said, I might give her like $5 a month, which was nothing to me. $5 a month to them, paid her rent, gave her clothes, gave her transportation, some more stuff, you know, so it was no issue.
That's how you became her husband?
I went back to the base, and we had a little shack that they actually sold some food out of sometime, and she worked there. That's where she worked there, because her parents worked in the mess hall. And they were telling me, like, you number one, yeah, you good. I'm like, I'm good. What are y'all talking about, you know? And they were just all happy, you know? And I didn't have a clue what they were talking about until one of them said, good, you married Vietnamese, you married, you good. What are you talking about? Married Vietnamese. And I went right to the JAG, which is the military lawyer. I said, well, these people, what are they talking about? By Vietnamese law, if you say you gave her money, means you support her, then you married.
Wow.
And I'm looking at this man, you have lost your mind. You know, I'm going through all these changes about my sister going home. You know, I'm going through all these changes. He said, as long as you're on Vietnamese soil, you are married. The U.S. does not recognize it.
Wow.
But as long as you're on Vietnamese soil, you are married.
Wow.
That's what I said too. Oh, I was going to
Fun fact about my dad, he was married in Vietnam.
I mean, it worked out. They never had, somebody in her family was an officer or something, and he had a Jeep, and they let me use it because when we go out, we went down to Saigon to go to a movie, and I'm scared as hell. I'm just letting you know now. I'm going someplace, I got a little rifle, I'm with this girl, they talking Vietnamese. I go to the movie tour, the movie is in French and they got Vietnamese subtitles.
Oh, wow.
So I was in there for like 10 minutes, okay. Went to a hotel room because I heard Bonanza playing. And I walked down the hall and I heard it, and then a little Joe come out there talking, how y'all so young, So no, that ain't gonna work, I got to go. So yeah, all that,
Wow.
but yeah, that, it had its little benefits because I did get to get off base, but I was more stressed out because I was scared to death the whole time. I don't know these people, they talking.
And they're
I
like,
mean, they had Americans walking around in Saigon. They had this, but you know, I'm paranoid. That's all I'm saying. I don't know about this. Let me get back to my people. Okay, so yeah, but that did happen in Vietnam. So somewhere floating over there, you might have.
please don't tell me siblings. Wow.
Anyway.
Siblings? And what year was this?
When I was first year I was over there. That was 68.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, they older than me. Don't know you. Don't know you.
That's what I said too. But
I'm the only one.
I remember coming home though, but she did right. And that's the first time I wish I tried to keep the envelope.
Okay.
She did her little finger thing.
We're going to take a pause.
We're back.
We had to take a little pause. But, sir, you said in Vietnam, on Vietnam soil, you were married, and then you were getting ready to tell me something. What were you going to tell me?
Oh, just that I did have some correspondence from my Vietnamese wife when I got home, asking me to send the paperwork so she could get to the United States. It only cost $75. I got an envelope where you could barely see the name on it because it was just covered with stamps.
Oh.
And that's how they wrote. It was like, I got 2 or 3 envelopes. It was just fun. I wanted to save them, but that could have been a stamp collection. Seriously, you had about 50 stamps on each one.
Wow.
But that was their way of actually communication. You know? But filling out paperwork, $75 at that time to get a Vietnamese national to the United States.
Wow.
And that's why she's still there.
Wow. $75 and he left her there.
Yep. I wouldn't know where she was to begin with. Mm-mm.
Okay. So, out of all the places that the military has taken you, is there one place in particular that you really kind of enjoyed or you liked? It could be, stateside. It could
You
be
understand,
overseas.
going places, it all depends on who you with, but they can make or break the whole situation there anyway. And I've been, with the military and with the State Department and even with the Pentagon. I've been around people that I could actually associate with.
Mm-hmm.
Every place I've gone was an adventure because it's new to me.
Mm-hmm. Foods? Did you try foods?
I live for food.
Yes, we do know that. My dad does like to eat. If anybody knows that, that is a fact.
It was the issue. I mean, I was upset when I was in Germany because they stationed me because they had actually lost a female who was pregnant. So they needed somebody on the communication front. So they asked me to go. And it was on a abandoned missile base. So they were locked down. You go to the base, you come back to your barracks. And I was the only one that actually went. The rest of the unit was free to go. And they went on the high-speed train.
Wow.
They went on the castle tour, the Black Forest tour. They went all up and down Germany and the whole European continent, really, while I was stuck on the base. The only thing I accomplished over there was I went to a McDonald's. And I had a Mac Brew.
A what?
Mac Brew.
What
Yeah.
was that? A
That's
burger?
the beer.
Okay.
That was it. That was my, because I was on base the whole other time. So I knew nothing about anything until it was time for me to come back. And that was an adventure because where we were, I had a Puerto Rican sergeant who was going to drive me back to my base. They gave me a map with the coordinates, which I could read map coordinates, which was no problem. If you give me a map coordinate, say, of Fort Washington, I can narrow it down to a couple of blocks. You give me a map of Germany, I can narrow it down to maybe, 100 miles. And that's what they gave me, a map of Germany.
Wow.
And my driver spoke half Spanish, half English, trying to get directions from a German, so you sort of messed up with there. But this is me on P's, and they got me back. But I told them where I wanted to go, so they got me back. That was what I would like to go back to experience outside the military. But one of the other places I really liked was Belize. Because you can't say nothing about anything other than natural being in Belize.
Wow.
I mean, if you go to a restaurant, if you order food, if you order juice, they will go outside, reach up and get your orange, your grapefruit, and squeeze it right there in front of you. The hotels, most of the water came from tanks. And on the top, they caught the water, filtered it, and that's how you got your shower or whatever the case may be. It was just totally natural.
Now, in your military, have you ever had to serve like the front line? We always see, people think of, the military, I'm going to be in the front line, have you ever had to do that?
See, this is the thing that people did not realize. There was no front line in Vietnam. It wasn't like, okay, you up here, they fighting up here, you go to the back. They were fighting in Vietnam. Wherever you were, you might be under attack. As
Wow.
simple as that, you know.
Mhm.
Geneva Convention says we cannot bomb or shoot at hospitals. They didn't care about the Geneva Convention. They bombed hospitals, they shot at hospitals, they raided hospitals, they did everything.
Wow.
Okay, so it wasn't no front line. If you were in Vietnam, you probably were in combat
Mhm.
from the minute you got off the plane.
Mhm.
Because one of the worst feelings I always had was being at Benoit Army Base, watching the planes take off, going home.
Mhm.
They were actually going
Going
home,
home,
you know.
yeah.
And you sitting there looking at, you counting your time down, you know, like that's 300 more days. I got, you know, you count that down like that. Because I remember when I think I was up north when my time was up, and I was working my way back to catch my plane. I knew my flight was. We had our orders,
Mhm.
and they were saying you could come right out the desert, right out the jungle, with your rifle in your hand, get on your plane. You get on the plane, and they were talking about seat and everything. And the man was saying, I'm not worried about you sitting in somebody's seat. Because like when I first got there, I was saying, I'm not getting off this plane.
Mhm.
The man said, oh, you gonna get off the plane. Because you understand something, you gonna be sitting in somebody's seat who's going home.
Mhm.
Or you gonna get off the plane.
Mhm.
That's not no problem.
Mhm.
And he was right too. Because they come on the back door looking for their seat. Somebody got a problem. It's as simple as that. But going over there, you had military flight, but it was a commercial flight, and you had commercial pilots on the military flight.
Mhm.
So they didn't spend a lot of time refueling there. So you might come over the radio, you hear something like, our present altitude is 30,000 feet. In 2 minutes, we'll be on the ground.
Ooh.
So it's like a drop.
Yeah.
It's like a drop. I mean, it's like a roller coaster.
Mm.
And that's what they did.
Have you ever jumped out of a plane?
Had no choice in the matter. Yes, we jumped out of the plane, yes.
Hey y'all.
We did that. It was
My
airborne.
grandfather jumped out of a plane.
Jumped out of the plane, jumped out of helicopters too, yeah.
Wow.
See, some of the stuff you see on television is on television. Where you see the helicopter flying over and land down and people jump out a foot or whatever. Some of that stuff is on television. When some of these helicopters come over, might be halfway down the tree, if they get out, because they got to go. They getting shot at too. So, yeah, you had all these things that happened at that time. It wasn't a second thought. You look at some of it now, comparing to the training and the stuff that's going on now, it's like, wow, we shouldn't have done that. We wasn't supposed to do that. This is not supposed to have happened. Yeah, okay. But yeah, these things happened and everything worked out okay. Because the first time I actually jumped out of a helicopter, they didn't tell me. It looked like it was grass. But it was a rice paddy.
Oh wow.
And if you don't know what a rice paddy is, it's just a field that's been flooded with water so rice can grow.
Wow.
And it's flooded, but it's green. So you don't know that
Know
it's flooded.
that.
And they also fertilize it by cow, pig, whatever is out there.
Oh gosh.
So I'm jumping out and I don't know that it's grass, I mean that it's water. So I'm sitting like I'm gonna make a brace, like I'm hit something hard, and I start going down. So
Glad you can swim.
somewhere over in Vietnam, you probably still find me. I'm 16 in the backpack, all that stuff. I mean, I took it all off. I didn't know, cause I really didn't know. You know, I thought, like I said, I was preparing to hit something hard. I'm gonna be almost drowning. So yeah, it's still over there someplace. I don't know.
What's the worst food you ever had in the military? The worst that you just couldn't even stomach?
Mystery meat.
Mystery meat.
Yeah, we called it that because we didn't know what it was. They would serve it, and we would look at it, and you cut it, and it would. I can't say it was like it would be blood, but it'd be red juice coming out of it.
Oh my God.
We would take it back and actually put it on the grill. Turn it upside down, stick holes in it, cut it, put it on the grill, turn it over, everything, take it back, and it still be red stuff coming out of it.
Ooh.
What is it? Where's it coming from? You don't worry about it. So we named it Mystery Wheat, and you can chew it. I got a couple chews in it, but I'm saying I got juice coming out. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the juice is. So it can gag you.
Oh my
But the other
God.
thing was, see, like leaving basic training, it was potatoes,
Okay.
because they served us potatoes 3 times a day.
Oh my God.
When I left, I wouldn't eat a potato chip.
Mm.
Baked, boiled, fried. You would have potatoes 3 times a day.
Oh wow.
So some kind of form, they want you to have that potato. But you know, when I left, it took me almost a year to get a potato in me. They had a problem with that. I couldn't.
That's interesting.
Whatever form you want.
But potato makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, at that time they wanted you. It made sense, but after a while, seriously, man, I could eat all around it. That lump of potato, whichever form you had it in, would be right there,
Wow. I remember you used to wear your little hats, the green beret hats and stuff, tilt to the side. Was that part of your national guard?
That was, they actually, I was in the Green Berets, which was a whole nother part of the Army. But the Army decided they wanted to have different units to have different emblems for them. And it turned a lot of people off because you had, the Green Beret was a symbol of a Special Forces unit. You had the Black Berets, which was a symbol of the Navy SEALs. You had the Air Force, used to have the Air Commandos, they used to wear maroon berets. So they had their little thing, but the military decided everybody gonna wear these berets, which was ignorant. You don't go into the field with a felt beret on. You had the cap, which kept the sun on your eyes. You don't have this with the beret. You get hot and sweaty, the beret holds the sweat. Let it rain, you got just 10 more pounds of water on top of your head. I mean, it was just crazy how they have you doing this, It was like, okay, we put up with it, we told them about it, and being, once you got to be a senior, that's when I got into a lot of trouble because I wasn't the quiet kind. You gonna do this?
I have to make sure my bosses see this. When you get in the senior level, you're not the quiet kind. See, this is where I get it from.
If you got something to say, it's like, if it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Okay, it's like on the little retarded side. And you can ask me anything, but don't start telling me you want to do this. We got a problem. We got a problem.
So what was your highest rank and your title in the military?
Well, I got to be a sergeant first class before I started being demoted. It ended up being a staff sergeant. I mean, some of the things were out of my control. Some of them I just didn't care. Because I remember one old guy tell me, when you gonna get an award, he said, yeah, this award is 50 cents, I can buy a cup of coffee. That's what it meant to him, it was just on paper. I did have an occasion where I was relieved of the duties, not because of anything I did, just because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had the Secretary of the Army actually came to Vietnam, and I was leaving one of the posts, and I knew one of the MPs at the gate. I was talking to him, and the Secretary of the Army, which is right down from the president, so I had that little staff car, they all coming in. His orders were nobody was to come into that gate. But I told him, you better call your commander, let him know, you got the Secretary of the Army here, and they're at this gate. He told him no, and it was a big thing, so I left. I got back to my unit, and it was like, I was a sergeant at the time, and they told me that the commander wanted to see me. I wanted to see the commander. He said, Private Mud. I said, well, no problem, Sergeant. He said, Private Mud, you hear what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what I'm saying too. He just busted me 2 stripes just like that because I happened to be there like I was a part of.
Wow.
Nothing to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
but because I was there. And I had these occasions where I did stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But
most,
when you
most of the
retired-
time when they did stuff, it was like, we're gonna drop you a grade or 2 grades. We're gonna take some money from you, like we might bust you from a sergeant to a corporal. Take $200 out your pay for 6 months or something like that, okay, and give you 30 days of extra duty. When I got out of service, I owed them almost 400 days of extra duty. I didn't have enough time to do all my extra duty.
Wow.
Because every day just go ahead, because, you know.
So your highest rank in your military career was a sergeant.
Mhm.
Was a sergeant. So what are the rankings? Where do you start, and what's the highest you can go?
Well, they call it NCOs. When you come out of basic training, most of the time, you're enlisted when you get there. You get to be a private first class, and then it's a corporal. After corporal, you can get to be a sergeant. Then they had, at times, they had spec sergeants. They had technical sergeants, so they had different branches of sergeants. So you could be a sergeant, sergeant first class, a staff sergeant, then you could be a sergeant major, and you just go on up. These are non-commissioned officers. So these are not officers, they call it non-coms. Once you leave that, you get to be a lieutenant, you know, you can be an officer. But you could be, like in the National Guard, you could be a sergeant, you could be a private, going to college. Once you get your college degree, you can be an officer. So you go from a private to a lieutenant
Wow.
just by getting a degree.
Getting a degree.
So while you're here now, people give you orders, you come back next day, and you're in charge of them.
Wow.
And that's what we're trying to tell people to do. Go get these type of things, go to college, get your degree, and we're talking about $2,000 or $3,000 difference, you know? And we're not talking about the National Guard, you get paid for the weekend. So if you get $2,000 for a weekend,
Wow. Yeah.
okay, you usually get $200 or $300, you get $2,000, excuse me, get your degree.
Wow.
What's that for?
Okay, we're gonna take a pause.
Hey,
for the we're
pause.
back. So we're gonna speed up the timeline. I remember high school. I remember some funny stories telling my dad, "Hey, Dad, you're overseas and I got a boyfriend." Do you remember that? So that was a funny story. It wasn't funny for him because he was holding a rifle, but it was funny to me. But, you know, speeding up time, things happen, and people actually do get married. So, my dad did get married, and from that, I have 4 other sisters and a ton of nieces and nephews and grandchildren.
And it's still growing.
And they're still growing. So, you know, part of this is that, you know, that generation of children can understand and know their grandfather, where they come from, and everything that he's done throughout his life. So now we're going to introduce you to my other sisters. Now I'm going to introduce you to my sisters, Monet, Dominique, Portia, and Brittany. I got this blanket made for my dad a couple of years ago for his birthday that has like a collages of all of us and the nieces and nephews. But there are more nieces and nephews. This is not all of them, but this is some of them. We've had some more additions to the family by Dominique as well as Portia. Myself, Monet, and Brittany, we have kept the same number. But these ladies increased, but we love family. We're all one. So I just wanted to make sure that they were captured in this moment because this video is for their legacy as well. Because my dad is a great dad. And he's been a great and awesome dad. All right, so Dad, I remember getting a call saying, "You're going to be happy. I am getting ready to retire from the reserves. And I was like, yes, at 60, birthday and retirement all in one. Do you remember that day?
I remember somebody telling me you're not playing no more war, so you're gonna stop. That's what I remember.
So at Harmony Hall in Fort Washington, we celebrated my dad's retirement and 60th birthday. It was filled with family and friends. We danced, we ate. People danced so hard they bumped the food table and knocked all the food over. We're not going to say no names.
But this will start with Renee.
So we had a great time there. And then fast forward, in between that time, I did get married. And I got married in 2016.
Ooh-wee.
First in Las Vegas. Called my parents prior and say, hey, you guys wouldn't be mad if I got married in Vegas with you? And they said no. So I said, okay, good. So me and my husband now got married in Vegas, and then the following year we had a wedding in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where a lot of our family came to attend. Woo-hoo to my family. Love y'all so much. My dad was there to walk me down the aisle. My mom was there as well. So I was excited about that. You know, to be able to still have my dad a part of my life to walk me down the aisle. And I'm sure that's probably been a dream of his for his 40-some-year-old daughter to finally get married. So somebody said, will you do that for me? And I said yes. So then fast forward a year later, we had a 70th birthday celebration for this guy. In 2018, family came out again. We had a amazing time. It was amazing.
Because it was a 70s party and also a 70s reliving.
Yes, it was. So do have a question. The outfit that you wore, we want to know. Did you buy it or was that in your closet? And the shoes. We want to know.
Alfred, I stand on no comment. But I did not have no shoes. I've never had platform shoes. Never even got off the heels or nothing. So I did get the shoes, yes.
Okay, he did get the shoes. So we're going to move up forward. Dad, you will be 71 this year. You're still working full time. You volunteer at the Young Marines with my nephew Marcus, who will be 16 next week. So are you ever going to fully retire?
You see, when we talk about retiring, my retiring is not doing a lot. I'm already retired.
Okay.
Physically, I'm not doing work.
Okay.
Okay? So working with Marcus, with the young people, and I do mean young, I can deal with them. Going back and forth to work, let's say I wasn't planning on having a child around me at 77 years old, so income is still necessary. But I have no problem with what I'm doing. If it gets to be physically tired, I will stop. I will stop. I got a lot of support from the family, and also know, you know, savings were not there because we're living for now.
Right.
So it's not an issue. But I love what I'm doing, and I love being around the people I'm around. That's why I come home, so I can enjoy myself in my place with my family that comes.
So what's some few words you would like to leave your grandchildren in the last minute we have?
Family. Family's always been there. I mean, we had some split generations where they got away from seeing family. They're not around family, but family's always there for you. You can't pick your family, but believe me, you have no choice in the matter. My daughter's my daughter, whether I like it or not. My brother's my brother, whether I like it or not. But the family will be there when your friends disappear. And then as you get older, you start finding out about friends. So you have some family that's going to be with you for the rest of your natural life. Enjoy it while you can. If you got any issues, come to the family.
At the end of the day, it's all about family. Bye-bye.